All right, today we're talking about the Chambal River and its journey through Rajasthan. And we're going to do something a little different. We're not using fancy GPS or satellite maps. Nope. Our guide for this whole explainer is this one single hand-drawn map. Let's see what kind of story it has to tell. So let's take a closer look. When you first see it, it might just seem like a simple drawing, right? Just a bunch of colors for the districts, a few blue lines scribbled on some paper. But it's so much more than that. This is actually the story of a journey, a really dynamic one, all about water traveling hundreds and hundreds of kilometers. Our job today? It's to bring this quiet, static image to life and actually follow that flow together. Okay, so let's get properly introduced. Our main character for this story is, of course, the Chambal River, an absolute lifeline for Rajasthan. And like I said, this map right here, it's going to be our guide. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures what we're doing here. We're not just looking at a bunch of lines on a page. We are literally following the water to find the story that's hidden inside. All right, let's jump right in. We're going to start by tracing the main artery of this whole system, the epic journey of the Chambal River itself. And right off the bat, the map gives us a little surprise. You'd think a river so important to Rajasthan would start there, right? Nope. The Chambal actually begins its journey outside the state. If you look closely here, its source is way down in the Janapav hills of Madhya Pradesh, which is part of that ancient Vidhyan mountain range. Okay, so from those hills, the river starts flowing north. And this is a huge moment in its journey. It crosses the state border, right about here, making its grand entrance into Rajasthan, carving a path right near the Chittorgarh and Kota region. So to really get a handle on the sheer scale of this thing, just think about it like this. The Chambal's journey is a three-state story. It kicks off in Madhya Pradesh, it does most of its work flowing through Rajasthan, and then it wraps things up over in Uttar Pradesh. And here's the final act of its solo journey. After traveling all that way, the Chambal's own story comes to an end near Etawah in UP. That's where it merges with the gigantic Yamuna River, and boom, it becomes part of an even bigger story, an even greater water system. But a big, important river like this rarely travels alone. It's got a whole family of other rivers feeding into it. So let's meet the rest of the crew, the supporting cast. Okay, first, just a real quick definition so we're all on the same page. What's a tributary? Super simple. It's just a smaller river or stream that flows into a bigger one. Kind of like side streets all merging onto a massive highway, right? Each one adds to the traffic, or in this case, the flow. And let me tell you, the Chambal has quite a family. Our map shows it's joined by some really important companions along the way. Rivers like the Parwati, the Kali and Sindh, the Mej, the Ahu, and the Benganga. Each one joins the party at a different point. Let's go back to the map. See here? You can trace these major tributaries joining up from the east. There's the Parvati, and right there is the Kali and Sindh. These aren't small streams. They're pumping a ton of water into the Chambal, making it bigger and stronger. And that's not all. The map also lets us follow the paths of rivers like the Ahu and the Mej, which come in from the south and west. Every single one of these connections, every new river that joins, it makes the Chambal an even more powerful and important force across the entire landscape. Okay, so we've traced all the lines. We've met the main river and its family. But what's the big deal? Why does this all matter? Let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. Check out this number, which was actually written on the original map itself. 6.85 crore. Now, what is that? That's 68.5 million people. That was the entire population of Rajasthan back in the 2011 census. That's a huge number. Now let's put that massive number back into the context of our map. This whole river system, this absolute lifeblood, is flowing through a state that's home to tens of millions of people. All of a sudden, those simple blue lines, they aren't just water anymore, are they? They represent so much more. And here's what makes it so incredibly crucial. Look up here at the top left of the map. See how it's labeled Northwest Desert Area? We're talking about a state that's famous for its huge, dry, arid landscapes. So in a place like that, a powerful river system like the Chambal, well, it isn't just important, it's absolutely fundamentally vital. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? How can something as simple as the path water takes across land end up shaping everything? We're talking agriculture, where cities are built, the culture, even the very survival of an entire region. And that brings us full circle. We're right back where we started, just looking at this hand-drawn map. But now we see it totally differently, don't we? We have a whole new appreciation for what it's showing us. An entire epic journey, all captured on just one page. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. What other incredible epic stories are hiding in plain sight on the maps that you and I see every single day? Maybe it's time we all started taking a much closer look.